Not sure how we're going to go today. Don't know what sort of form Skeeter's in. Haven't spoken to him before the mics are on, so we're getting Skeet fresh off a grand final weekend. It's a public holiday here in Western Australia, but we're coming to you live from BackChat Studios anyway, because Skeeter needed to get out of the house and go for a walk. G'day, Skeeter. How are you, mate?
Hello, Scully. Yes, just recovered from a big weekend of footy. Good grand final. Snoop Dogg doing his best work, and we've just seen a team just make another major statement as one of the best of this century. We've seen the Brisbane Lions back in the early 2000s. They were extraordinary in this team. 3 grand finals in a row, 2 premierships, and they may just have another one left in them.
How do you feel? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, pretty good.
We'll get into the game in a second.
No, pretty good. Yeah, no, we
Behave.
Yeah, just.
Don't get offensive.
I said, yeah. No, just trying to think. The biggest day was Friday when we caught up with some friends.
Yeah.
Just wandering from. It's called a pub crawl. A couple of shelters.
Yep.
Higo and a few of those likely types. And I have to thank Paul Ramsey and Terrell from Travel and Sport Australia for just making sure I got there and got home in one piece. Did you have some
beers on the way over on the plane?
No,
you on a PJ?
A charter.
Private jet?
No, well, charter, if you want to call it that. Yeah, but I was...
Was it private?
No, it wasn't private. It was full. Had David Rapunda sitting behind me snoring. And no, I didn't have a drink on the way over or on the way back, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But we had a few in between.
What about after the grand final?
Well, I didn't get off here at 8 o'clock, so even the Seagulls had left the MCG by the time I disappeared. 8 o'clock Melbourne time, so...
What time did the game finish?
5:30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice post game. I reckon I might have heard you.
Yeah. No, Pap said, no, we're going through till 8. I said, well, was that 8 o'clock in New Zealand or 8 o'clock in Melbourne? So, yes, it was good fun. It was great. Look, I don't know if you've called a grand final.
The one here.
Yeah, but it's great to be involved with it. It's, we've got great facilities at the G. We're sitting basically on the wing, looking at 100,000 people in front of you. Yeah, it's a fantastic day.
I did actually do like an hour of pre-game Brisbane Collingwood's, the one Brisbane lost, 23. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to sort of, stamp the check of a work trip. So I went in there on the way to the members.
For radio or Fox?
Radio. Yeah, just swung in.
6PR.
Bit of stuff straight to the members lounge. Yeah, it was good. So, yeah, no, I haven't called one. Was it fun? Was it good calling?
Yeah, it's good fun. I mean, when Brisbane play like they did, and, it was an extraordinary, the last quarter, 14 goals, and after what it was a pretty dry first half, 5 goals apiece. Yeah, they just play footy in a really attractive manner.
Yep, I agree, Skeeter. Thanks to our sponsors on board, as usual, for a Monday Heyscape. They are running a giveaway at the moment. All you have to do is jump on our socials, share and like and follow the pages included, and you can win a massive 2-night stay at the Denmark cabin. So they are providing that all the way to 30th September, so it finishes tomorrow. So make sure you get onto socials, either Shelter FootyCast or BackChat or Heyscape, and get on there for a chance to win that dual cabin getaway thanks to Heyscape. MSH big moment of the round, of course, will happen as well. mshph.com.au for all your big mining projects, construction jobs. If you need big equipment, you can rely on our friends at MASH. We'll be bringing you a big moment of the round as per usual to that, Skeeter. Before we get into the game and before we go into this dynasty that is becoming another Brisbane dynasty, of course, I thought we'd just have a little bit of a look around, see what's happening in news around the league, Skeeter. Ken Hinkley has met with multiple clubs in Melbourne this week as he weighs up what's happening in 2026. Essendon apparently is the most appealing and a decent opportunity to come in, of course, not as head coach.
No, but you mentioned that, and that's always what title he gets is important, but I wonder, has he got another stint left in him, or maybe he's going into any club saying, I have no ambitions, no desire, I'm happy to be a managerial type role?
Because Simon Goodwin has gone to Sydney to do the same, right? He's sort of that head of coaching.
Yeah, I think he still harbours ambitions.
Right, okay. Spoken to Simon?
No, I've read quotes from him saying, I don't think he's finished.
That wasn't fair. I didn't need to say that.
No, but that's okay. I've missed just being... Mind you, we had got plenty of blokes prepared to sledge me in Melbourne as well.
Did you have any Shelter FootyCast fans over there? You would have been stopped in the street for a photo, guaranteed.
No,
Guaranteed.
no, I don't think. I don't know.
What about on the tables later on a Friday?
I don't play tables. I'm not actually. You know me. I don't mind having a flutter. I'm not really a casino person.
Fair.
The bars, but maybe not the tables.
So, okay, there we go, Ken Hinkley. So, look, I saw today, so Trade Radio started up, of course. We're getting into that period of time where we've got a couple of weeks left of the Shelter FootyCast. We're going to finish on trade deadline day. So that's our last Shelter FootyCast of the year. So we will start speaking pretty heavily about what's happening in the trade period, Skeeter. I thought off the top we could speak about the big names that are on trade radars. And I want you to give your confidence levels that they'll be either at their club or on the move for next year. So I'll just give you, I've got 7 big names that have been linked. Yep. Because, of course, Jordan Ridley is taking himself off the table. He's not going
Staying
anywhere.
put. That's okay. You're allowed to change your mind.
You're happy with that?
Absolutely. And Matthew Innes has come in, so they've had a new president, new fitness guy, Matty Innes. So
I just need to get used to it.
Yeah, look, you're allowed to change your mind. We do it regularly on this show.
That's a very good point. All right, I think the biggest name on the move, I'll give you 8 because I feel like the 8th you'll say, yeah, he's moving. Zach Merritt, captain of the Essendon Football Club. At the start of trade talk, will he be at Essendon in 2 weeks' time or will he be elsewhere?
The elsewhere is the interesting one because Hawthorn's the only club that has been mentioned to my knowledge. Has there been any other clubs that have popped up?
I think there was some fake news rolling around Richmond.
He's not going to Richmond. No, he's not going to Richmond.
No.
Adam Uze has said, as good a player as Zach Merritt is, that's not where they're heading. So Hawthorn is the obvious. I think a bit like Jordan Ridley, and given what they've said publicly, they will fight very hard to keep him. So
I'm going to get yes and no's out of both of us rather than fancy.
The easy one is yes, he's going.
Why is that easy? He's the captain. He's a contracted captain.
He wants out. He wants out because what happens now is that players basically do what they want. They go to whichever club they want. There's not even a chance for clubs to, like if Judd McVee coming back wants to go to Fremantle, if Melbourne can get a better deal with West Coast, why shouldn't he end up there?
I read that this morning. So Judd McVee requested a trade to Freo. He's decided to come home to Western Australia. The 22-year-old has played 65 games in Melbourne. I rate him highly. He's a very good player. Is West Coast, are they just...
Persona non grata at the moment.
What's that?
Persona non grata means...
What is that?
Just look it up. Tony, look it up. It means you don't want to borrow them. As a player.
Can we get a translation?
Is that too difficult to...
Well, no, as a player doesn't want a part of West Coast. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Which is, I think, pretty crazy, isn't it? I mean...
Not at the moment, it's not.
But walking into that back line at Freo, it's not like they've got a poor back line.
No, but he might have his eyes set on another role. He might have been told, look, we think we can fit you in another position.
Is he a good kick?
You're asking the wrong person. I mean, I do like him. I like him. I like Trent Rivers. As young WA guys, I really rate Rivers and McVee.
I rate him highly, but I don't know if he's got a good kick or not. Like a good kick. You know how I've been saying they need a good kick?
Yeah. But they're getting quality into the club. It just doesn't hurt.
So point being,
if that happens.
So you're a yes for Zach Merritt?
I'm a yes for Zach Merritt because generally players get what they want.
I'm going to go and no.
So hang on. I know. You backed the truck up, reversed it.
I think I even gave him my Homewise guarantee. I reckon I gave Homewise Solar guarantee. I think I gave Zach Merritt will be gone.
You think so?
The more I dig into this, the more Essendon are firm.
Is that because there's going to be a scenario where it's too difficult for Essendon to be satisfied with what's coming back?
Yeah, and if you look at it, I mean, you couldn't really play it any other way if you're Essendon. Like you need to be fair.
What would you'd be chasing like 2 first rounders and Mitch Lewis, for instance, as an argument?
Yeah, so that you have to do that. Like he's the captain. You can't be like, oh well, sorry we couldn't provide the winning culture for you. Like, see you later, Zach. Thanks for your service. You've done enough for us. You can't do that if you're Essendon. Now, that might be true. Like those things might be true. They haven't provided a winning culture, and he has done. I think he's won 6 best and fairest in 12 years.
He's been pretty loyal.
He's done as much as he probably. That all could be true. But if you're Essendon and you're in the war room in Essendon, we're not trading him. Doesn't matter if you give us 10 first rounders, we're not trading him. And then when 10 first rounders comes on,
they're trading him.
Yeah, they're trading. But I'll say no. All right.
Okay, so we beg to differ on that.
Yeah, correct. Charlie Curnow. I'll start with this one. It's a yes. He's absolutely gone. He will be waxing his surfboard up. He'll have his longboard, his shortboard. He'll have his outfit picked out. He is going to Gold Coast, Sydney, or Geelong.
Well, you actually got the clubs in the wrong order there, to my knowledge.
Sure, I'm not.
No, but Geelong seems to be.
Well, he's from Geelong.
Yeah,
Family's in Geelong.
Okay, well, so are you, but doesn't mean you know, every player that's ever been through Geelong. It must be like Hawaii is. It must be the greatest place in the world to live. I've been there. It's a bit of a shithole, to be totally honest with you. It's not that good, Scully. Sorry to Jan Schofield, whoever lives there. But it's not like you're rocking onto Waikiki Beach and thinking, oh, look at this. It's actually, what is this thing, lifestyle Geelong? Yeah, every time I've been, it's been cold, it's been miserable and raining.
It's just about winning. Let's just cut the shit. We're not moving to Geelong. How's that cough going?
Hey?
How's that cough going? Right, we're not moving to Geelong because of lifestyle. Like, really. Like,
that's what they say.
I know. Why? I couldn't be, like, for him it might be true. Like, family, he has all of his family
okay.
there. All right?
How far away is that from Melbourne?
What's that?
Well, how far away is
1 hour?
1 hour. So it's like going to Mandurah. Yeah. And now, I do like Geelong. I do. I've been to a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's a good...
The episode title is Geelong's a shithole.
no, not at all.
It is, honestly, it's a great way to describe it. It's a bit of a shithole. It is. It's a bit of a shithole, but it's like, it's a good one. Like, it's quieter.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
Yeah, like, it's like Mandurah. I love Mandurah, but it's a bit of a shithole. But like, that's okay.
Is there a bogan element to Geelong?
We don't have to be like you and the glitz and glamour of the Gold Coast. You know what I mean? Like
Burley heads.
Yeah, Cavalabs to the skeeter, strutting around with these aviators on.
The meter maids there.
Yeah, all right. So it's a yes for me. Charlie's gone. I don't think it matters where he goes. I think he wants out of Carlton, and I don't think they'll be able to keep him.
I think it's a yes for me as well.
All right, so he's gone. Thank you, Charlie. Enjoy Geelong.
He's got two or 3 years still to go on his contract, so they can play hardball as well.
I'm pretty sure all these guys are. Christian Petrarca.
Adelaide, did I see?
So he's opened up. He started with Collingwood and Carlton last year, and now he's like
anywhere,
anybody at all.
Anyone who can provide me a cooking recipe for a kitchen that I can open up in Adelaide or...
Yeah, well, I think if you're Melbourne, it's a yes.
I'm a yes.
It's consistent, wants out.
Stephen King's said to
coach.
Stephen May, that's the way to go. I don't mind that from a Melbourne perspective. I don't think...
You'd get something pretty good for him. To the right side in Adelaide, who needs someone like that,
yeah,
you'd get something pretty good.
Any slight concerns over him as a player, as good as he is, and we know has been, since his injury, do you feel he's been able to get back to that level, or am I being too harsh?
No, he hasn't. But we won't know until he's in another environment whether that's been a mentality of like, I'm not bought into this. Like it is a serious dictator of form and consistency. Is if you're 100% in. Like Brisbane, Geelong, you can say Hawthorn, Collingwood. You can see the players when they're talking in the media and when they're playing for each other. They are all in. But when you look at West Coast and North, and I wouldn't say the same for Richmond. I actually see it in Richmond for whatever reason. But you look at Essendon, Melbourne, these sides, you're like, are you in or you're not in? And when you like that as a really good player, I reckon you can go from a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. And he's been in 7 out of 10 ranges this year. So answer your question, I don't think we'll know until next year if he's in Adelaide, whether he can get back. And so it's a risk.
But he's obviously wanting to go to a club, as all these senior players are, to a club that's going to be contending. In Adelaide, as bad as they were or as overawed as they were during the finals, they've done a terrific job and have the potential to put Petrarca into the mix there. Rankin comes back in. Gee whiz, it's starting to look like a pretty decent side for Nix and co next year. So I'm saying yes.
Yeah. The rest of these blokes, I reckon we don't have to give a full breakdown on. Jamie Elliott, I say no. I've heard that Collingwood's updated they've upped their offer. He's very old to be offering a 3-year deal at Gold Coast.
I think he's 32, is that right?
33.
33, yeah. He's had a very good season.
Yeah, well, but can't be 70 years old playing.
No, but I think he's entitled to get
park snapping
32. He's entitled to a 2-year deal.
He's 33.
He's entitled to a 2-year deal, isn't he?
Not a 3-year. 36 years
2.
old.
I'm saying 2. And Spurrie's always said, Lee Spurrie's always said to me and others, and you've probably been the same, at past 30,
over 30.
a 1-year deal.
Yeah, 1-year deal for over 30s, unless you're Bont.
But he's had what's his year been like? It's been one of his best, but he's 33 years old. Yeah.
Like next year, his calves could go and he plays 4 games. He got a 3-year deal in front of him.
Yeah, I'm saying
he stays.
I agree with you. He stays.
Warple, gone
to Geelong.
Yeah,
done.
lifestyle. Marshall, isn't he gone to Geelong?
How do they afford it? Give me the reason.
Is he a yes? I reckon no. I'm going to say no on Marshall. I reckon he stays.
I'm going to say yes, he goes
to Geelong.
Yes, and it just becomes like this club, for the expats of every other club.
If they get Curnow, Marshall and Warple, let's pack it up.
What's going on?
Let's pack it all up. And you, Hagen, does he get to a new club?
No. So I think someone takes a chance on him. I don't know who. Gold Coast is not the right venue for him, I wouldn't have thought, given our knowledge of the lifestyle. Maybe he goes to Geelong as well and just settles up and just but they use him as like a backup.
Oh, get it out of this shithole. Sorry, Geelong residents.
I said that in jest, only because you're from Geelong.
I can say, yeah, you're giving me shit. You basically...
I'm from Canada. I mean, that's pretty cold and bleak.
All right, we've bounced around here a bit, Skeet. Let's get into the grand final. Huge game, last game of the year. Brisbane 122 defeated Geelong 75 at the MCG. In what I don't know how everyone else perceived this game. I thought it was a really good grand final. To get to 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of a grand final, and there'd be scores level, 1 point the difference. That's a good grand final. Now, complete blowout. I think there was 90 points kicked in the second in the last quarter.
14 goals.
Yeah, so there's a fair bit going on in the last, and it was sort of floodgates open. But you can't ask for much more than 3-4 minutes left in the third quarter, be 1 point remaining. That's a ripping grand final. How did you see it?
Yeah, look,
overall? As
you said, 5 goals apiece at half time. In fact, 5-6. So that's the first time since 1909 or 1908 that the teams in a grand final had been even at half time.
What do you remember about that game?
No, it was a good game. I was only young, but it was...
I do know.
No, it was... but that was one piece of history. So 5 goals apiece. It was... The first term, it felt to me like nerves were a factor.
Oh, yeah.
And massively nerves.
Huge pressure,
And there's pressure. Yeah, pressure, but nerves, skills way down on what we expect normally, but obviously... given the day itself. And I thought Geelong actually probably settled better than Brisbane. But as the match wore on, I'm convinced that what they did wrong in the qualifying final and the matchups that they obviously were beaten in Brisbane, they were able to change the course. That stoppage work from them was a lot better. The forwards from Geelong that went up the ground, they played it so well. In fact, if you look at the matchups around the ground, I'll just start in your part of the ground. Yeah. In defence, I think it was almost a 6-0 win.
Flawless.
To Brisbane. Harris Andrews, he was never going to win the Norm Smith... Well, I said never. He should have been, I'm sure he was in discussion. Second. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he was second.
Shannon Neal was almost, to be fair, kicked one monster goal, but he was a non-factor because of what his opponent did. I thought Gardner on Cameron... was outstanding. Bear in mind, Jeremy did get injured, but I still thought prior to that he was doing a great job.
Gardner played really well.
Wilmot on Manor, I think it was. He's a guy that Manor likes to get up the ground. Wilmot played him superbly. So you think of the defence of Brisbane.
Leicester went to Dangerfield.
And Leicester went Dangerfield, who was a non-factor. And Leicester was carved up by Cameron, I think, in the qualifying final. So I think they've just... As we've discussed prior to the game, teams that are beaten in qualifying finals who get the chance in a grand final, they learn a lot more than your opposition.
Well, that's the 7th time now. So it was before this game. There was 6 times. 5 times the team that lost in the qualifying had won. So it's now 6 out of 7. The losing qualifying final come and win. And I've been on the end of that in 15, winning against Hawthorn and then Hawthorn. And I think it's because, imagine the mindset of Geelong, who have smoked Brisbane in the qualifying, and Chris Scott comes in Monday for the grand final after they win the prelim, and he goes, all right, boys, Park, let's have a couple of things we did well, what we didn't do well, blah, blah, blah. All right, on to Brisbane now. we're going to change everything we just did. We're going to change our matchups. We're going to, our midfield, we're going to tap differently. We're going to do different things with our wingers. We're going to completely offset them. You'd be sitting there as a player going, hang on, but we just beat them, Chris. And it's a lose-lose situation because you probably did need to change a few things coming into the grand final. But as a mindset, you're kind of thinking, well, we've been so good. We've been so consistent all year and I don't want to tweak too much. Look, and without trying to get too negative and while we're staying on matchups here, I think they would, in hindsight, do something different with Stanley. I don't think he looked like he hadn't played for 5 weeks or whatever it was. He had a number of contests on the day that weren't grand final standard. They were probably rounds 1 to 24 standard, getting pushed off, fumbly, jumped at a few contests. Blitzarv's not in the ruck all day, I think hurt them around the ground. He didn't have any impact, Stanley. Blitzarv's didn't have the impact he's been having all final series. So I think that's one they got majorly wrong. And then, look, I spoke about it, Dangerfield not being able to back it up. He just, look, he's old and he went to it, like I think I was right in saying he went to a 15 out of 10 and he just didn't have the legs in him to back it up. Now, he got played on well, but it's very difficult to come out and do what he did in the prelim.
Even play half as well. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the guy that probably did, when I say he would have looked back and say, look, we lost, but I thought Max Holmes was probably one of the better players. 33
touches a goal, 900 metres gained, so he was Geelong's best, I think, skater. Look, the MSH big moment of the round, mshph.com.au for all of your big construction and commercial projects if you want equipment. The big moment of this game was Patrick Dangerfield.
Oh, no, I was coming up with something else.
Great, you can give us 2 MSHs. Yeah. I think it was Patrick Dangerfield crashing a pack like he always does, reckless, and he's broken Jeremy Cameron's arm. That to me changed the game. Like, Jeremy Cameron played no factor in the game whatsoever. That's Geelong's best player. Now, I'm not saying it's Dangerfield's fault. It's a grand final. You're going hard at it. But to have your best player break his arm and then to be stuffing around with the sub all day because they didn't know if he was concussed or his arm was broken, that changed the entire course of the game. Now, you think what you like about that, but that had a massive impact, and I think the biggest moment. Give me yours.
Yeah, I'll beg to differ in the sense I don't think even if Cameron was fully fit that they would win that game. Yep. That's just I thought that he was being pretty well held. He might have come and kicked 4 or 5 goals, but I think in terms of what we've seen this year from Charlie Cameron, and I've been thinking, gee, he's just going here. He's just falling over, and when he kicks the goal in the forward pocket, left-hand side of screen, it was something out of the Charlie Cameron specialty box. It was...
Is that running at the
boundary?
At the boundary?
Yeah.
The Dom Sheed pocket?
Yes, Dom Sheed pocket. When he curled that through, you just felt that once he is on, and he's obviously had a great day, but I just thought that was a moment where Brisbane realised that they're... And I'll tell you what...
You got the motorbike.
John Denver playing at the MCG a few times is pretty significant.
Was that loud? Did you have the windows open in the box?
Yeah, it was loud. Yeah, it was regular. Because I've already kicked with 4.
Kicked 4. Yeah, I like that.
And just in Brisbane, yeah. And look, but if Zach Bailey... If he kicks accurately, he's winning the Norm Smith medal.
He had 4 points in the first quarter.
1-4, I think, and then finished with 3-6, I think.
9 shots in a grand final. It's the most points ever kicked in a grand final.
Is that right?
Believe.
Well, Gary Ablett Senior kicked 9 goals to win a Norm Smith medal. Zach Bailey, I'll tell you what, I know he's, speaking of not now, but I think in the next 12 months, he's free agency territory as well, I believe.
Yeah.
He's got some serious talent.
Skeeter, the Heyscape Escape of the Week. I think you'll like this one. And it's a genuine one because this could have gone either way. And we heard Chris Fagan speak about it after the game that he was thinking about it last night. He was either going to be remembered as an absolute failure or an absolute genius. So the Heyscape Escape of the Week is playing Lachie Neale as a sub, scores a level at half-time, subbing him at half-time. Like that's a big move. He's come on, he's had 17 touches, 7 clearances, an amazing goal in an amazing part of the game. Like, to kick that, again, if you think about mindset of his teammates, they'd be concerned that he wasn't going to hold up as well. For him to drill it from 50 after Dane Zorko pressed, like, that was huge. But the escape is Lachie Neale getting through the game and playing well. Like, that's a huge escape, isn't it?
Considering, and I'd love to get the full medical, because we had him on radio after the game, he didn't quite give us the actual injury and what part of the calf, because if it's a genuine calf, this is a miracle that he's got up. I mean, I don't know how many days it was. The hyperbaric chamber must be worth its weight in gold at the moment. But he did. He came on, had an impact. And again, you think of the impact of even having Neil come on, Cameron, the injury he had, Jack Martin as the sub, everything just played into Chris Fagan's hands. He made it happen. But he said he brought Lockie in on Monday before the GF to discuss that prospect. And he was obviously pretty concerned about how Lockie would handle it. And obviously, you don't want to be told you're the sub. Yeah. But they both agreed that was the way to travel. And at the end of the day, he gave them that surety. In the last quarter, I think, clearance-wise, I think he had 4 or 5 in the first 6 or 7 minutes. But the game was still alive, potentially. I think it was 19 points or something like that at three-quarter time. But within 3 or 4 minutes of that last quarter starting, the game was done.
Good coach, Chris Fagan. You might think, well, clearly you're going to have that chat on the Monday, but I don't reckon every coach has that chat on the Monday. I think you would say, I want to play you, but you probably just clarity for players is the biggest thing, and especially when you're dealing with an injury that you're trying to do everything. Like if you just know where you sit, and if I can get my body right, I'm going to play sub, then you don't have to worry about it. Like it's really good coaching, and I don't know if every single coach would do that. I think some would sort of go, we're going to leave it till Thursday and then we'll make a call after main training and I want to see you train and all that sort of stuff. Maybe not, but I think that's really good coaching.
Lockie knew, I think, the week of the grand final he was right to go. It was the week before where he had to put in the yards. And you're right, it was Fagan's ability to he communicates. And look, I think I heard him describe, he's got a pretty low ego. He is someone that is regarded as a father figure. I know all that. Which is great, but yeah, he can tell he's loved by the players. That's not to say Chris Scott isn't by any means, because he's a fantastic coach, and I thought he was classy post game, Chris, in terms of out in the field and what he did. You're about to
that was classy, but
I know you're about to go the other way, but
mate,
is a sub rule?
It's straight after the grand final. Like Chris Scott finds a way in every time they ever lose to do that. He finds something to talk about that we're all going to be talking about instead of them losing.
Are they talking about that?
Well, unfortunately, mate, that's not class. That's not.
But you have to, Scully, and
he spoke well. I know.
I was in the press conference, so was he asked specifically about the sub rule? These things we just got to put into context, because if he was asked, what would you do with the sub rule next year? So
I don't know if that was a question. If that was a question, your answer, yes.
Bottom line is, I think on the field when you're in a bit of pain, I thought he showed enough class to show that he and Fagan have got high respect for each other. And there were some great moments as well with Oscar McInerney. I think the biggest rule for him, and speaking of class 12 months earlier, when he could have been a little bit subdued, he was as buoyant as anyone. So for him to get the chance, Jared Berry misses out this time.
Jared Berry got Chris Fagan's medal, I believe. So
is that
Chris
right?
has given Oscar McInerney's medal in 2024 and he's given Jared Berry's medal in 2025. Not the same, unfortunately, but it is something. Darcy Gardner played this time around. I don't think he played last time. Is that right? Or am I messing that up?
Last year.
Anyway.
The medals going everywhere, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, talking about medals. So the Norm Smith medal, Skeeter, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull the votes up quick enough here. So Will Ashcroft, was he a clear-cut best on ground?
We thought so in the box that he was going to win it. I don't think clear-cut.
No.
I don't think clear-cut. I mean, I know you backed me. I thought Harris Andrews was enormous. So he was second.
He was second.
Yeah. There were 4 or 5 players that you could have given it to and not been shouted down.
Because there was a lot of junk time going on as well, right? So, do you know what I mean? Like there was, here we go, great. Will Ashcroft, 13 votes, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2. So he got best on by 3 of the voters, second best on by the other 2. So that's pretty clear cut if you talk about voting.
Yep.
Harris Andrews got a best on ground. He got a second best on ground and a 1. I find that ridiculous that Harris Andrews got votes from only 3 people.
Out of how many? 5?
5. Out of 5. And I'll name them. Because Harris Andrews was clearly in the best 3 players on the ground. If not the best, he was that far instrumental in what Brisbane did. Like, how can you not have... I think that is a prime defender's curse Jack Rewalt gave him 2 votes. Well done, Jack. As a forward, as a full forward.
Well, yeah, he understands.
He understands what it means. Kate McCarthy gave him 3 votes.
She had a pretty good day at the office, so she tipped Brisbane, and I think her votes.
Yep.
Which
Andrews,
it's all opinion.
She had Ashcroft at 2, which I think you could go. Those 2 are the ones. I think 3-2 across the board, and she had Bailey at 1. That's probably how I would have given it. Mm-hmm. Luke Hodge had Fletcher at best on, Ashcroft at 2, and McCluggage at 1. McCluggage had junk time. No one else gave a vote to McCluggage. No one else gave a vote to Fletcher. So Hodgie's gone rogue. Jack Rewalt was Ashcroft 3, Andrews 2, Bailey 1. I think Kate and Jack are probably very similar to what I would have done.
Yep.
Who's that? Oh, Andrew McLeod. He gave 3 to Ashcroft, 2 to Bailey, 1 to Andrews. So they're the 3. Simo's
voting.
Yeah, Simo was voting. Simo, a bit of me time from Simo.
Presenting the medal to the coach.
There was a bit of me time from Simo. He's medal presenting. He's voting on the norm. What wasn't he doing? Very happy with Simo's year this year.
Who you were?
Oh, no, just everyone's very happy. He's the new guy in media, isn't he? He's very happy. He's moving back to Melbourne to continue the media stardom. I think so. Ashcroft 3, Zorko 2. Zorko would have been my 4th. He was very impactful, and Bailey 1. So Hodgie's completely gone that road.
You think he's butchered it? That's what you do.
Well, he's just a little bit left field, isn't he? I mean, Fletcher best on, Ashcroft 2, and McCluggage 1, and no one else has given votes to 2 of his players. That's pretty left field to me. I mean, McCluggage did kick 4 goals. That's what he touches.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
And Fletcher had 29.
Shout out to Lee Spur as well.
Spur knows how to give a vote. All right, so that's how it went down. I think Ashcroft a worthy winner. I think Harris Andrews should have had more votes.
21 years of age, he's got 2 Norm Smiths.
Yeah.
And he's only got a couple of years left in his career, so he could end up with 4 or 5 Norm Smiths.
I think he's in relatively good company.
Yeah.
I think it's him,
Dusty,
Andrew McLeod.
Already, but he's 21.
Yeah.
And Brisbane, you talk about Geelong next year being stacked.
The 8th person I had on that list was Oscar Allen, whether he leaves or stays. So, he's going. I understand. I don't know. It's just saying a big name that's on the move.
Yeah. Where does he play?
At Brisbane.
Yeah. In place of Gallup?
Well, he'll have to get his body right. And
He'll play forward, won't he?
I don't think they'll play Oscar McInerney and Darcy Fort on the same side. I think they'll play one of those, and then they'll play 3 tall forwards. Yeah. So that is the votes to the grand final. Skeet. The one we haven't mentioned, Skeeter, is Snoop Doggy Dogg.
I mentioned at the top.
I know, but I wanted you to break down what did you think of his performance? Did you have to speak over it?
No, we let him go.
Yeah.
And I think we lost half our audience on 6PR because of the demographic.
That's to do with 6PR.
Yeah, no,
what did you think of it? Live.
I thought the actual visuals were good.
Yeah.
Even better at night would have been, or under lights, but all the visuals were good. I'm just not into his music as some others are. And that's not knocking people who love it. No. I think I'm going to give a tick the actual pre-game because even though it wasn't my type of music, I thought it added a fair bit of pizzazz to the game.
The doubters were just crawling back in their holes, I reckon. It was a massive spectacle. Now, whether you liked his music or not, he's a huge worldwide artist.
Does he actually sing?
Well, he raps. He's a rapper.
Yeah, no,
What do you mean?
No, but has he got a good voice? Or is it more just the
He's a rapper.
Yeah, so you don't have to have a good voice.
Do you know Eminem? He doesn't sing. He's a rapper.
Yeah, but I just think if you're going to have he was a good performer, but he didn't. I reckon I've moved.
You're like a singer.
I moved a bit more in Melbourne, just from the Pullman pre-game to the commentary box, and he moved for his whole performance. He didn't go too far.
He's always 50, 58, so he's pretty old.
Well, he's in the 50s. I'm in my 50s, but he can still,
Well, would you be dancing around like pork chop out there?
No. Yeah, I was spinning and gyrating.
So gyrating. I thought he nailed every element of it. The pre-game chats that he did, like he spoke about what it meant to like Australian footy, and he bought into the culture of AFL, which I don't know if every person does that. He gets Jesse Mowboy up there, he gets Baker Boy, like he involves Australian artists. Jessie Mauboy will look back at that in the best moment of her career. She's in the middle of the MCG doing a duet with Snoop Dogg. Like
No, you know what?
I couldn't have ticked it more, and it'll go to a worldwide audience, and everyone who was bagging it beforehand can just piss off back to their caves.
Yeah,
That's basically it.
No, I thought it was actually better than what I expected. Am I going to one of his concerts anytime soon? No, but that's okay. I'm sure you didn't like Kiss as much as I did 2 years ago.
No, I didn't.
Well, why not?
No, well, I don't know their songs.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm
not.
No, I know. It's just, I think you have to be, and a lot of the demographic that are over the age of 40 or 50 are going, no. But I agree. It was a really decent start to the day.
So Geelong are adding these players. So Patrick Dangerfield and Jeremy Cameron were basically impactless on this grand final. I think they'll both look back on that. They're senior players. They know what it means. They'll know that they may never play in another grand final. You don't just get to go to grand finals, even if you're a successful side. So that is why they're bringing in these players. I think Stanley's one of their eldest. Dangerfield is. Cameron is. None of them had an impact for Geelong.
Can you explain to me, on a serious note, and people will ask this, how do they afford to bring in, say, Charlie Curnow?
Well, you look at the rest of their list. I mean, half their players would be on absolutely piss all money. Like, Neil's had a great year, he'd be on nothing. Mullen's a tagger. O'Connor's a tagger. O'Sullivan's a rookie, like he's one of their best backmen.
So guys like Atkins, Max Holmes...
They're nothing on nothing.
Getting bugger all, are they?
Yeah, well, Holmes will be starting to get a bit of money, but like, they're not paying anyone. They're not paying anyone on their list. No one's getting paid.
Who'd be the highest paid player at the Cats? Well, Cameron.
Bailey Smith, Dangerfield and Cameron.
Yeah.
Those
and then a fair disparity from there to the rest.
From all reports, they got Bailey Smith cheap as well. So
because of lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle. Yeah, it's lifestyle. Far out. What was I going to finish with? Yeah, so going forward, I'd agree with you around Brisbane and what they've been able to do. That's 3 grand finals in a row. They lost the first by under a kick.
Yeah.
They could have easily three-peated. And they're adding players to their list. Like, is it similar to the Panthers in the
NRL? Well, Panthers won 4 and just got rolled yesterday.
Yeah. I mean,
it's extraordinary. And that shouldn't be the case under the AFL's mantra, should it? Because it's all about trying to have equity and evening up the competition. But given what's happening at Geelong next year on paper and personnel-wise, and specifically Brisbane with what they're going to pick up, I'm not sure that clubs like North Melbourne, West Coast and those in that same area are going to have any chance in the short term.
Father Sons got 16 votes in the Norm Smith medal. That's relative. That's relatively
important.
Yeah. Levi, Will, and Fletcher, and in the back of my mind, they have someone else floating around. I don't know. I reckon they might have someone else having a little look as well. So they're just going to get better. Brisbane, Geelong are built on structure and system and role playing, so they can get back there, but they'll need to bring others in.
I'll tell you what, there's some people, I reckon, footy people, outside of those 2 clubs, there's a bit of fatigue with Geelong making back to the grand final. No, that happens. Like the Buffalo Bills with going back to the Super Bowls in the 90s.
Yeah.
If you keep going back there, after a while, there's a bit of fatigue, I reckon, on that front. But credit to them. They've been a great footy club and they'll probably challenge again next year.
All right, that's a grand final done and dusted, Skeeter. It was a good game and lucky to be a part of the AFL season. A couple more weeks to go here on the Shelter FootyCast. We'll cover all the trade news and we'll even have a look at what other sports are going on around here. Skeet, talking about other sports, I watched my first full game of the NRL yesterday.
First full game ever?
No.
This
year.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched a game this year. I thought, prelim final. I like any sport when there's something on the line. That was the loudest crowd I've heard from the TV. Like whether or not they had the effects mics turned up, but there's a lot of people talking about it. That was frenetic, especially the second half. So just to explain to you, I'm sure half of you didn't watch it. Panthers have won 4 grand finals in a row. They're trying to make their 5th in the prelim. There's a quirky thing in this fixture as well. So because of the AFL Grand Final, they've played Storm, whoever they played
on Friday night against Cronulla.
So Storm won against Cronulla Friday night. They've had no games Saturday, and then this prelim's on the Sunday, so you get 2 less days break going in grand finals. Is it Saturday or Sunday the grand
It's
final?
next Sunday evening.
So that's okay. It's not a 6-day turnaround at least. Anyway, Panthers going into this game, if they win this, they make their 5th grand final in a row to 5-peat. Like, just ridiculous. They're up 14-0 at halftime. And again, if you're a real sort of novice, it's 4 points for a try and you get 2 points for conversion. So
3 scores away.
They're 3 scores in front, which is ridiculous. And against the Panthers, no one comes back and beats them. They're at Suncorp, which is the Broncos' home game. And they went, like, it was, like, so I think it was Fittler was, Brad Fittler was on the boundary, or he was like, this is absolutely diabolical down here. It's
What, the atmosphere?
Yeah, is feral. He said this place is just turned into a feral. They were screaming. They had a guy on the mic every time Brisbane were defending. They had, like, you know, the Wildcats there, they got a hype guy on the mic. They had some guy like, oh, the Broncos, get on there, defense. Like, and the whole place is screaming and carrying on. They're playing music during I never said anything. It was like a festival. And the whole stadium was Broncos. There wasn't one Panthers fan in there. It was awesome to watch.
And I've seen some of the highlights because I was on the plane. There's Reece Walsh, just an absolute at the death.
So he basically had no impact for most of the game. And the commentators, again, my first game I've watched all year, commentators kept going, this is a Reece Walsh game. He's going to step up. And I'm like, what are they fucking talking about? Reece Walsh is the guy, again, if you don't know, he's tan, he's got his hair slicked back, he's a bit of a pretty boy, but he was a guy drinking out of the toilet a few weeks back.
He can play.
Yeah, and he can also drink by the looks of things. Mate, they just kept banging on about this is set up for a Reece Walsh thing. Sure enough, down by 4. 4 minutes to go, they'd come back all the way back. The crowd's going bananas. This Reece Walsh kid takes on about 4 blokes, gets 4 people on him, gets a pass out. They score in the corner.
It wasn't just a pass. It was like a over the head sort of alley-oop.
They go back. Reece Walsh had just missed a kick, and he almost missed another one from straight in front, which is the conversion. So whether or not he handed it off or the other bloke,
Adam Reynolds
stepped up, who's a superstar.
Well, he has missed in a grand final for South Sydney a conversion opportunity or two. So it wasn't an easy kick. It was
as hard as it gets. It was on the boundary.
It was. Yeah, well, it was. I had a look at it. It wasn't. There'd been tough rankings. It wasn't an easy kick, but for these guys, the best it was doable, and he kicked it brilliantly.
Drilled it to send his team into the grand final. It was the best crowd I've ever seen at an Australian sporting event. It was just fanatical. It was amazing.
So Brisbane,
well done, NRL.
Brisbane are going pretty well at the moment, aren't they? Got the Broncos in a GF. The Lions have won the flag. So old Bris Vegas is up and running.
Where do they have the grand final at the same ground every year?
Yes, in Sydney at Homebush, which is unlike the MCG, just quickly, which is so central. People walk there. You can get a tram. It's out in Western Sydney, if you know the venue. Do you ever play it there?
Yep.
Yeah,
and I've been to concerts and stuff out
it's
there.
A long way
it's a
out.
Shithole. And it's shitholes. That's a shithole.
It is soulless. It's soulless. So you get out there.
That's where Giants are.
Yeah, it's your match finishes. Then you get all the way back into the Sydney. Yeah, they need a venue in Sydney. We'll even play it at Suncorp, but there's only 50,000 or 55,000 capacity.
Whereas what do they get at?
I think I've probably 80 or 90 there. But yeah, it's not the best venue, but Melbourne and Brisbane are playing in Sydney to decide the grand final.
And those two sides just feel like they've been in grand finals forever. In
Melbourne particularly, yeah.
So, do yourself a favour. Well, do yourself a favour if you're sitting back and you want someone to have a look at, go on to KO or wherever you watch it and just watch the second half. I've never seen anything like it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this what happens in the NRL every week? It's unbelievable. All right, Skate, a couple of questions and comments to finish us off, and then we are off. What are you doing for your day off, mate? Public holiday?
I'll walk home, and then I'll
snooze? You're going to snooze.
No. I've got job. I've got to go to drop stuff off at the salvos, clean the car.
Homewise Solar?
Who?
Homewise Solar.
Homewise Solar. Yeah, we're onto it. We're just unpacking bags, and then we're getting there.
Okay. It's pretty good house.
It's okay.
I drove past there the other day. I showed Dan, and he said, "What? That's Skeeter's house." Hey, bit of a head wobble.
Oh well, no, I quite like my old house. To be honest,
palace.
but it's just a
bit of a palace,
battler, round of the people.
The Brownlow has a lot of. This is don't worry, be happy on YouTube. The Brownlow has a lot of relevancy for has. I think it's meant to say lost. The Brownlow has lost relevancy for a long time. It's been given to the midfielder with the most seductive stats. That's the criteria. If the Bont is yet to win one, but Lachie Neale can get two. Neale is an excellent player, but how many people would rate him better than the Bont? I would agree with that. Maybe the NFL-style MVP award needs to be considered. That happens. That already happens.
Nick Dacos won it.
Yeah, we have every award there is possible, other than the Backman, which is the Jack Buckley medal, which Harris Andrews went back-to-back. Enough said. All right, you think our medal doesn't know what's going on? It bloody well does. How about for the Brownlow, umps can look at match stats, then just reward best on ground only. Guy with the most BIGs wins, piss off second and third, might shorten the 4.5 hour event slightly too. That's from Derek. I don't think it should be given on stats. You know, 40 touches and not be best on ground.
But influential nature of the game. And
I don't think we need to change it at all.
Derek, I just think, take a breath. It is an award, as we said last week, that is different to every other award. Is it perfect? No. Is it for the umpires? Yes. And embrace it and celebrate Matty Rowell this year.
Finally, the Brownlow goes to the best player. I'm sick of all the pretty boys getting all the accolades. They wouldn't know how to win a hardball if it bit them on the arse. That's from Buppy on YouTube.
Oh, he's played a few games, has he?
Oh, no, that's not bad. I like that. FootyCast at backchatstudios.com.au if you want to send us an email. Wilma has sent one in. Wilma Fingerdo is this is a good friend with Wilma. G'day, lads. Wilma here. Just wanted to say cheers to Skeet. What a good story and career. Hopefully he doesn't leave our screens for a long time.
Well, thank you, Wilma.
There's more coming. Okay. Just got two questions here. One for Skeet. I'm a big fan of horse racing, but why do they only have one caller? It'd be way better if they had the caller for the first 100 to 150 to get all the positions. Then as they go around the bend, they have an expert that say this rider is doing this or rider is doing that, and he's in a good, bad spot because then the last 300, the caller comes back on to finish the race. That's the first one. Thoughts?
Well, I actually think because it's in Australian horse racing, Matty Hill, for instance, Darren McCauley, they call very up-tempo. So there's, you're looking at, for a 1,200 metre race, it's about 1:10. I really like I do like what she's saying though, by the caller gets position of the horses, in jumps, for argument's sake, an ex-jockey, whether it's William Pike once he's retired, or someone who is, quick on a short description of how the race is playing out and which horse is well placed. So I think it has merit outside of the square. I think it's a really good suggestion. Whether it happens or not is
would it probably be similar to like what they do in swimming? They kind of do that in swimming.
A little bit, yeah. No, I think it's a really good. I hadn't thought of it, but it is one, particularly in a Melbourne Cup or a 2-mile race or the Cox Plate. Caller pauses. Jockey expert steps in, and you've got 15 seconds, maybe 10. Give us a synopsis. Now, you say James McDonald's got a bit further back on Via Sistina than what he'd like. At this point, he'd rather be just off the pace. He's worse than midfield, but he's still well placed with this Supermare. Something like that. Do you like that?
You stay tuned. There could be something it could be something in the works here, just at BackChat Studios with our good friends at Tab Touch as well. Just saying. And number two, looking at the Jamara trade, how hard can Bulldogs be on that? If he doesn't want to be there and he's acting up, no matter how good he is, Bulldogs won't play and Jamara won't be happy, etc. So how valuable is a good player that's unpredictable on the trade table? I don't know if Bulldogs will get much for him, which is, I think they got him pick one. So it's
a loss.
Not ideal.
It is a loss. But we hope he can play footy again. More importantly, get his life back in order because, as you know, Scully, it can slip by relatively quickly if you don't take your chances when you're young and fresh and still worth something.
Is that a backhanded?
No, I'm saying as you know in footy. No, I'm not saying that. I didn't mean to. I was saying in footy, you just fritter away 2 or 3 years.
Sound like you're calling me decrepit and old.
You are now, but you weren't back then.
Yeah, correct. All right, Skate, we're done. Time to let you back on your public holiday, mate. Shout out FootyCast. Go and check us out on socials if you're not. FootyCast at backchatstudios.com.au. Keep supporting our great mates at Heyscape. Jump on to heyscape.com.au. Go and have an experience at one of their cabins. Stays in nature, as well as mshph.com.au for all of your big equipment hire. Skeeter, that is us finished, mate. Go and have a snooze or something.
No, I'll be working. We'll chat Thursday about trades and all stuff that we're probably outside of our remit.
Yep. Goodbye.